interrupt this transmission to bring you the following live broadcast.
How's everyone doing tonight? Woo! It's Wednesday. It's 6 o'clock somewhere. With Ryan ready in his chair. And almost 10 whole people watching from home. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? It's time for the ThinkSoJoE Show!
I don't know what's going on. Music just stopped. It's all good. It's all good. And the Twidget thing is not going away. I don't know what's up with that.
It's active and waiting for chat. Someone's got to say something.
Yeah, somebody say something. We could get rid of that thing. Anyway. We're starting a minute early, and that's my own damn fault, because... And then, here, lower thirds.
Hey.
So what happened... What happened was I hit the button like a minute early, and I'm like, oh shit, no, I'm not supposed to start this yet. And then I hit the button trying to like cancel out of it. But by that point, it was too late. So I had to like manually switch to all the different, all the different
the little
scenes
pop-ins
here, yeah.
So another 42 seconds from now, are they all going to pop in again?
No, because what happened is when I hit the button the second time, it canceled everything. So that's why I had to manually do everything. Otherwise, it would have gone the way it should have.
Well, you did a great job. I mean,
I did as best as I could.
Yeah.
Lost the intro music coming into the main scene, but that's okay. Anyway, there we go. Now we got some chat coming. There we go. Hi, Megan Ryan.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Missed you last week, man. We were having so many so we started like 15 minutes late last week because we couldn't get. We were having so many problems. Skype did not want to play nice with OBS, so we're trying to get Kevin on screen, and it's just not happening. So,
jeez, sorry. Everything falls apart as soon as I get involved, man.
And then we didn't have audio for him, and we finally figured all that out. So it took like 15 minutes before we were able to actually like get into the show.
Oh God.
So
sorry, man. I should have just showed up. I was
Man, you were buried in stuff, man. Like you've been buried in work. You had what, a pipe freeze or something like that?
Yeah, it's been a long week in the McEnany household. Yeah, like somebody left at my job, so I've had to pick up some slack on their end, and we got a consultant in today, so everything's back to normal now. But holy crap, that was bad. And then at the same time, yeah, we have a bathroom in the downstairs of our house that was added when the people flipped it, and they didn't insulate anything properly, and they ran a drainage line over the crawl space, which is, below freezing. So we drip the faucet so those lines don't freeze. Apparently they didn't pitch the drain line correctly, so the water pooled up and froze in that.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so I'm there with Natalie's hair dryer, not even able to listen to you and Kevin because it's a hair dryer. It's that loud, and I'm just sitting there trying to thaw this pipe, wondering why we bought a 120-year-old house. You missed the 15 minutes of us trying to figure out the tech issues before we even got started. It was like, okay, now what do we talk about? I'm sorry that happened. I would have preferred to have been a part of that.
Laura wants to know, is every episode a tribute to Mueller, or is it Twitch notification email? I guess, yes, every episode would be a tribute to Brian, who started this show with me 6 years ago tomorrow, if you could believe that. This show's been on the air for 6 years.
Long running, man.
299 episodes as of today.
Woo!
Next week, episode 300. I have no plan whatsoever. None at all.
Just do what you do every week, man.
Just show up and do an episode. No, usually for like these, milestone episodes, like 100, 200, 250, like those kind of episodes, like we usually get like musical guests or something. I don't know. Right now I got nothing planned, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Get on here with an acoustic guitar and just play your favorite local Buffalo tunes.
There we go. We could do that. 6 years and still not canceled. You're damn right. We got Happy Anniversary from Ningwood Records. I'm wearing their T-shirt today. We're not sponsored. We just they're putting out the Working Class Stiffs vinyl when it finally gets pressed and gets to them.
Excellent.
So they were expecting to have it sooner, and Tim at Ningwood, he reached out to me and he said, "Hey man, listen, you know, I'm sorry we're not going to be able to get this record to you till like at least 2022," and you know, because of the supply chain and all that. It's like, dude, I understand, like Adele, you know, we all know about that. Like all the vinyl collectors, we all know, you know, we're all aware that they needed to get that Adele record pressed before Christmas. So he says, listen, I'm going to send you a care package. And then he sends out the care package. It gets lost in the mail.
Oh no.
And he's following this the whole time. He says, hey man, I'm going to follow up with this. And I'll send out another one if it doesn't get to you. And finally, they found it somewhere in Memphis.
Wow.
And
it's a well-traveled package.
And it happened to get here today. And you know, he messaged me as soon as he got the notification that I got it. I'm like, yeah, hey, I got it. I'm gonna wear your shirt on a T-shirt and the shirt on the podcast. And he's like, hey, send me a link. Here he is. He's in the chat. So
excellent. Nice job, guys.
Don't bring up the YouTube comment. Use the use the Twitch version. Nah, they all go the same place. It's all good. Oh, she wants me to do this. She wants me to have the restream bot Twitch version of the comments on the screen. No, I'm gonna bring up unless it's Facebook, because we've had trouble with Facebook comments not showing up properly. Anyway, they show up under the restream bot. But yeah, 6 years and 299 episodes today, 300 as of next week. So maybe we'll come up with something cool to do.
Yeah, we will. Congratulations on 299, man. 6 years. That's impressive.
Yeah. I can't believe it's been 6 years. It doesn't feel like it, man. Like I've been podcasting for a long time, and I feel like this show just started. But we've played so many bands, we've, you know, made so many friends doing this. We got to do Warped Tour a few years ago, which was cool as shit because they hooked us into the PA. So like we're doing the local stage, and we're connected to the PA. So in between bands, they're playing over the speakers as you're walking into Warped Tour, what we're broadcasting out onto all WNY.
Oh, dude, that's cool.
Unfortunately, the setting was not set in my old laptop to record when we go on the air. So that whole day is just gone, including I interviewed Kevin Lyman.
Oh my God.
Which, oh man, how much does that suck, you know? But like, you know, and of course, I'll never hear the end of it from the dude from that long-ass named podcast, The Struggle is Real Buffalo Music Podcast. And you have to say the whole thing, because if you just say The Struggle is Real and you Google that, you're going to come up with like 6 billion results. So you actually have to add Buffalo Music Podcast to the end of it. So no wonder I keep winning awards over him. Anyway, we're plugging one of his shows on the show today. So anyway. But yeah, shout out to Ningwood Records for, they sent me a nice care package that had this T-shirt, the T-shirt for a band, and a couple of records, which I wasn't expecting. So that was pretty cool. I'm like, this is in a record package, and it was sent media mail, but you know, if you squeeze it, it's definitely T-shirts. I'm like, did he even include a record? Like, or did he just ship T-shirts media mail? Like, there were records. So.
Little mail fraud there. That's great, man. No, I love it. And I mean, yeah, shirt looks good, and you're pressing the Working Class Stiffs record. I mean,
yeah.
Great pick.
And I guess they're getting it like later this month, so I can't wait to get that. You know what's funny is I got this T-shirt. I still don't have a Working Class Stiffs T-shirt, and I made that logo that they have on that T-shirt. I saw Houston and the Dirty Rats a couple of months ago, and Houston's wearing that shirt. I'm just like,
yeah, I drew that.
Dude,
take it off.
I don't have that shirt yet. And I think Joe was supposed to send me one and I don't know if he just never did, or if I got it and I forgot about it and it's laying around here somewhere. I don't know. It's entirely possible.
It's local music. You can have an order pending for like 6 years.
Yeah, have there been more episodes of Bored Wrestling Fan or Think So Joe? I was wondering that same thing earlier today. We should have it by 12/8 the Working Class Stiffs record.
12-18. Nice.
12-18. Yes, you are correct. So a few days after I get my TV that I was telling you about before the show. Let's see. Let me see if I go to board wrestling fan. That's a good question Laura had. There were 347 episodes of Board Wrestling Fan before we stopped, so we're catching it. We'll be there by the end of this year. We'll make that. So, nice. But cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that. I've been looking forward to getting that record. I love it when local bands put out vinyls. So like
absolutely, man.
You know, we've got all the On the Cinder stuff. Mm-hmm. Mom Said No put their stuff out on vinyl. The Abrupters have vinyl.
Absolutely.
XM Priory has a vinyl coming out at some point. Whoever's pressing that one hasn't given me any updates. So, you know. But yeah, no, I love it when local bands put out vinyl. We got Falls Count Anywhere, The Living Brain Dead up on the wall here, but we only did 4 pressings of that, and it sounded like crap. But I think that was because it wasn't mixed for vinyl. It was just, here's the mix Brian did. Put this up on the, you know, put this on vinyl for us. So we just need 4 copies, one for everybody. And, you know, I was happy to be able to give Brian a vinyl with some of his music on it, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. It was mean so much to him. That's his whole thing, was just making music. And, yeah, it's like you're saying about it's cool when local bands do stuff. It really, like, legitimizes a band when you've got some actual, like, professionally produced merch that you can bring. It just shows how serious you are about this thing, that if you're in music, you're serious about it to some degree. It's just awesome to have it on an LP or a 7-inch, and I remember feeling the same way, like when I was a kid and my cousin Al was like, hey man, I'm in this band, check it out. And he gave me an Al Beeman Band tape. And I was like, this is the greatest thing ever.
I wanted to get tapes made for, because Kevin collects tapes. So I wanted to actually get tapes made. And I like reached out to a company and they were, you know, replied. And I don't know if I ever even got back to them about it. But I was gonna get some tapes done of Falls Count Anywhere. But I think I'll wait till whenever we get around to our next album, EP, whatever.
Absolutely do it on tape. It's the new vinyl. Like,
yeah.
I remember like 6 or 7 years ago, it was the really trendy thing for every indie band to do. They'd be like, oh no, our music is not available in any easy to listen to format. Would you like a cassette?
I think anything I can play music on, I would like a copy of my stuff on. So I've got, you know, I obviously have the record player, got a CD player, I've got a tape player. So like,
8-track?
You know, I don't have an 8-track. But if I had one, I would make sure to get one.
We'll head over to AmVets. Give you an excuse to get some 8-tracks.
For sure. I need to go to AmVets anyway. I gotta get some. I want to get some glasses, like martini glasses, to make like pudding and shit, and put it in there.
The fancy pudding.
No, my grandma used to use a martini glass for that shit. So it was like, it's like, man, you know, that was a good idea. I wish I had some of those. And then I start looking on Amazon, and I'm looking at like really nice ones, like blue tint to it. And I'm like, oh, those are nice. They're not $50 nice, but they're nice, you know, so it's kind of like, now I kind of want to go, I've been meaning to go to like Dollar Tree.
That's probably the move, honestly.
But like, I haven't left the house. I was going to go yesterday, right? And I was waiting on a package. And if Kevin were here, he'd be like, oh, here comes Joe versus shipping. It's supposed to be in the next segment. Anyway, so I'm waiting on this, I got a robot vacuum, one of the, you know, like a Roomba style vacuum thing. Its name is Bob.
All right. Where's Bob?
He's in the bedroom. But literally, his name is Bob. I got a card welcoming him home. Welcome home, Bob Kent. 7.8 pounds, 4.2 inches in height, and delivered on 1/26/22, or at least shipped on 1/26/22. So it came yesterday.
Well, congratulations.
It was supposed to come between like 2:15 and 4:15. Then it's like, oh, it's coming between 1 and 4. Like, oh, okay, cool. I'll just wait till 4 and then I'll walk over to the Dollar Tree. Damn thing shows up at like 8 o'clock.
So your whole day is gone.
I looked out the window at like 5 o'clock. I'm like, fuck, it's dark out already. I don't really want to. I don't want to walk all the way the fuck there when it's like dark because it's gonna get colder. And it was nice for a brief period of time yesterday. Yeah, like I went to Tops today because I got an air fryer today.
I saw you posted that. You've got to be thrilled, man. The air fryer was one of the better gifts we've ever received.
So I've been impulse buying stuff from Best Buy for like the last 2 weeks.
I've noticed.
So like, so I decided I went on the Best Buy app one day, and I'm just like scrolling, and it's like, oh, here's the deals of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a $650 robot vacuum for $180.
Well, you gotta have that. I mean, come on.
Like, well, I've been thinking of buying one of those anyway. So for $180 for a $650, and it's like this particular color is $180. The other one is $650. And if you go on there now, the one I got is $650. So yeah, that was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That
Got in and out. You can flip that thing if you want.
That just makes sense to me. Like, let me buy one. I've been looking at one of these anyway. Let me get one.
Yeah.
So I did that, and now I've been like every day on Best Buy's app, like, okay, what's the deals of the day? And this morning happened to be an air fryer. Like, there was an air fryer on there for $20. It's a $30 air fryer. It's a small one. It only does like a half gallon of capacity.
That's all you need, though. You can fit 4 pizza logs in there.
I did mozzarella sticks. I literally like went to Tops after I got it. I'm just like, I don't have anything to cook in here. let me go to Tops. I was getting Instacart stuff. It's red. It matches my phone case, and it matches like this tuner pedal I have.
It fits the decor of this room as well.
It does. It's just, it lives in the bedroom. I got to find a better place for it. That thing is dumb as fuck too. Like, I hit the button to go back to the charger, and it starts just wandering through the whole back of the house. And I realized that it had actually turned its own charger off because it was plugged into a power strip. It bumped the power strip and turned it off.
Okay.
So, but then when I turned it back on and I hit the button again, it's still like going everywhere. Like, it's right here, dumbass.
Bob's a devious little fuck, ain't he?
Yeah, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Anyway, I'll tell you what, man, my floors feel clean, so.
Hey, there you go.
And
you're getting to do that while you're hanging out and playing guitar or playing Nintendo or whatever.
I literally did the front of the house while I was watching the Sabres game last night.
Nice.
Like.
Thanks a lot, Bob.
Yeah. I'm just watching Bob, and my cats are sitting there like, the fuck is that?
Yeah, you should get the cats to sit on Bob and have him run around the house. Recreate that meme from 2004.
I brought it back here after the game, and the girl cats are just like, no, get that thing away from me. But like, yes, it does. Bob does match my hat. Oh, look, it's even red on the card. They sent me a fucking card.
They know that he's a lovable accent to any red decor.
They sent me a fucking card. I was not expecting that. I saw that. I'm like, that is a nice touch. Like, who thinks of that? Who thinks of putting a fucking welcome home card on something that's, a robot? It's supposed to be a personality.
That's what I'm saying. They're personalizing it, or what's that called? Like they're
Yeah.
anthropomorphizing it or whatever, so that you end up thinking of it as a member of the family, and then you buy another one if Bob ever ceases to function.
Sure.
Yeah, you just get used to having them around.
Sure.
It's not a product; it's a lifestyle.
Yeah. No, it was not like just sitting there watching the damn thing just kind of fumble its way around the living room, and when I was using it in the bedroom, it kept getting stuck under my dresser. There's like a piece of cardboard. There's like a box or something under there that's like folded up, and it keeps like going up on the box, and then it can't get down.
And your impulse is, let me help you, Bob, instead of this robot is annoying. Like you're like, oh man, little guy's having trouble. Let me get him.
No, I'm just like, what a fucking dumbass. But yeah, I mean, but yeah, something I wanted for that cheap compared to the retail price. Like, yeah, that was I had to.
Yeah, dude, money well spent.
So I was telling you before the show, I was supposed to get a TV delivered today. What happened is I found one on clearance for $230 for a $430 TV.
Yeah.
Had a $25 gift card, so I spent $200 on a $430 TV.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, you got to set up an appointment now. Like, what the fuck do you mean an appointment? Right? And they're like, oh, it's basically like it's like an in-home installation except without the installation. They bring it into the fucking house.
Just need a time for them to drop the thing off.
So I'm just like,
because your TV's too big, buddy.
Why can't I just get I could get a delivery on any other TV. this was, I had to make an appointment. So I get this email on Monday. So I make the appointment when I buy the TV, right? It's supposed to come today between 7 and 1 or some shit like that. I get an email Monday like, oh, you still need to make your appointment. Like, what the fuck do you mean I need to make my appointment? I've already got my fucking appointment.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, no, you need, you have, we don't. So here's what happened. I ended up on hold. I call because I'm trying to make this appointment and it's not letting me on the website. It's like, call if you need help. So I call. Oh, let me look into it and I'll put you on hold. I'll be right back. I'm like, can I just switch to shipping? Yeah, let me find out for you. 25 minutes of holding with no hold music, no indication that I'm still on hold. I have to keep like looking at my phone to make sure I'm not disconnected from the call. So like, finally I get transferred to someone. Guy has no idea what I'm calling about.
Ugh. Calls dropped. Great.
Okay, here's what happened. Okay, no, they said they transferred you to me, but I don't know why, because this is not the right department. Let me transfer you to this other department. Fuck, all right. So I, finally get a hold of the correct department. And this guy goes, let me look into it. He says, here's what happened. Your TV got damaged. We don't want to send you a damaged TV. I'm like, well, shit, because it was a clearance. So I assume you're just getting rid of old stock. You're not getting new ones. He says, well, here's what's going to happen. When we get the newer stock, and it's going to be a slightly newer TV, when we get the newer stock, we're just going to send you one of the newer ones that's in perfect working order, so you don't have to worry about it being damaged or anything like that. The problem being that they don't know when they're getting them in stock, and the first day that they had available for the next appointment happens to be Super Bowl Sunday. So it's like, great, I got to get up at 7 a.m. on Super Bowl Sunday to wait for an appointment on a TV when you guys can literally just drop it off in my front hall.
Yep.
And it tells me I can make that known to the driver when it's out for delivery. I can say, hey, just put it somewhere and I'll get it. I don't need you to bring it in my house, man. It doesn't weigh that much. Like, it's a smart TV, so literally the only installation is plug it in and, and set up Wi-Fi.
Right, exactly.
And if I want to wall mount it, it's Visa compatible, and I have the mount for it. I don't need fucking Best Buy coming in my house and doing that shit for me.
Right, exactly.
So why do I need an appointment? I don't know. But they wouldn't let me get rid of the appointment and just switch to shipping, but whatever. As long as it's fucking coming, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, it is nice of them to give you the upgrade for free. That's pretty cool, but the appointment thing does drive me absolutely nuts because, I'm not always available, and I think what they're trying to do is limit any sort of like what's that called? Like loss prevention. They're trying to limit liability.
Package theft and shit, yeah.
Yeah, and they also
I could see that.
They also probably think that we're idiots, which, like, to be fair, most people generally are when it comes to simple things that they're doing on autopilot. They probably think you're going to pick it up, drop it, break it, and then need to return it, moving it through a doorway. But it is very frustrating.
The difference between all three things that I've bought from Best Buy in the past, 2 weeks, the TV, the air fryer, and the Robo Vacuum, Bob. The difference in shipping, because they shipped Bob, UPS, they make me get this appointment for the TV. Mm-hmm. The air fryer, I ordered this morning. It was here this afternoon.
Damn. So they had it in stock at a local store. Just, here you go, buddy.
Dude picked it up from Amherst and drove it here. Cool.
Make some mozzarella sticks.
That's exactly what I did. I walked over to Tops. I was like, I forgot to grab one of my disposable bags. I'm like, fuck, I gotta kind of limit what I get here because they don't have baskets and they never fucking have carts.
Right.
So it's like, all right, I gotta limit to what I can actually carry in my fucking hands, which sucks. So I got some mozzarella sticks, some fries, some sea salt, and some olive oil.
Yeah, there you go.
So
all of that stuff cooks great in an air fryer. That's basically what we use ours for. You can't make anything healthy. I shouldn't say that. You can make Brussels sprouts and stuff, and they're really good. But the most effective use of the air fryer is frozen foods that normally taste great in a real fryer but don't taste good in your oven. Stick it in the air fryer, and they come out awesome.
Oh yeah, I mean the mozzarella sticks. I got the TGI Fridays frozen mozzarella sticks.
I was eating those the other night. They're awesome.
And I'm like, let me, what the fuck? Why not some mozzarella sticks? I'm like, this is gonna be the first thing I make in the air fryer. I debated whether or not to text Karina, hey, is this ska?
It is. You were reenacting a Turkey Blaster Omega song.
So
Yeah, man. I was eating those the other night because basically that is how Natalie and I got through pescatarian January. Instead of actually eating healthy foods, we just ate a shitload of mozzarella sticks and cheese pizza.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, I am happy to be back eating meat.
I bet.
I feel better already.
Have you drank yet this month?
I have not yet this month.
Okay.
We cheated a little bit.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. There were a couple days we cheated, so we've tacked them onto this month.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I won't be drinking
That's fair.
until Friday, but I owe my neighbor a couple beers, so
Let me ask you this: was one of those nights after the Bills game?
No, it wasn't. Jesus Christ, I wanted to.
I could imagine.
This is a heartbreak, dude. Like, I don't know. We've discussed it briefly in the chat, but like I haven't had much to say about it because I'm still genuinely very bummed out about that. Like Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes, both of them put on an offensive clinic, and Josh Allen did what he has done for the past 2 or 3 years, which is in the fourth quarter when the game is on the line, you want him to have the ball because he's gonna march down the field and score. And he did with 13 seconds left, and it was amazing. And me and Joey and Ethan and our buddy Pete and our friend Melissa and Natalie were jumping up and screaming, and it was amazing. And then Romo's talking about how they've won the game and they're moving on, and I'm sitting there going, there's 13 seconds left, and we all know what happened. You know, they played a really deep prevent defense, and they rushed 4, and Mahomes escaped, and he threw twice for 50 yards, kicked the field goal. They got the ball in overtime, and they lost. And it sucked the air out of my soul.
So, I mean, you know, there was a meme going around that said there's nothing else Josh Allen could have done, and it says he could have called heads. But here's the thing: everybody spends this next week complaining about the overtime rules because it wasn't fair to Buffalo. They didn't get the ball.
No, fuck that. That shit is weak. Like,
okay,
that pissed me off, and that was the first thing I said to our this gets discussed most frequently is with my family's text thread and my fantasy hockey thread. And I can say none of us, which I consider to be relatively reasonable people, had that take. I saw that take on Twitter, that toilet bowl that you hang out in, and I was like, man, these people are nuts. The rules are the same for everybody. You can't complain about them. Don't get me wrong, I don't like the overtime rules, and I haven't liked them, but I'm not going to bitch about them when they apply the same to everybody else. And a week later, the same thing happened, and the Chiefs lost. What happened is Buffalo's defense couldn't get a stop when they needed it.
That was the point I was gonna make. Was like the very next week, the Chiefs got the ball first and lost.
Exactly.
And they turned the ball over 13 seconds into overtime.
Which,
so how did you feel about that? Did that make you feel better?
It was bittersweet, man. Because you got to be happy for Cincinnati. Like,
yeah,
they are a franchise that, like, they're long suffering. It's debatable whether they've suffered more than the Bills because even though they haven't won a playoff game before this season since Boomer Esiason, like, they were competitive. They had a lot of 11-win seasons with Andy Dalton and stuff, where the Bills were watching 4- and 5-win teams. But, like, you got to be happy for them because that fan base deserves it. And at the same time, I'm kind of sitting there thinking it should have been us, but it could have been us.
Could have been.
It was 13 seconds away from being the Bills, and me and my texting my old man how excited I am, and texting, all my friends, and watching the game with Joey and Ethan and shit, and instead, the life got sucked out of us, and we went back to the cold, gray Buffalo sky with our lack of vitamin D, and I couldn't even have a fucking beer.
I'll tell you, man, but credit to both of us. We're both rocking our football teams, even though they're both now out of the playoffs, didn't go to the Super Bowl. Yeah. Niners made it a week further.
Yeah.
But
I'll give you credit for that, man, because I was talking a little bit of shit there, and honestly, I think if it's coming down to QB to QB, I still want Josh Allen over Jimmy G, but like the 49ers defense is legit, and Deebo Samuel is an extremely fun player to watch. That guy can do anything.
I'll tell you what, man, if we had Raheem Mostert healthy and able to play, that would have been a different game.
Yeah.
And it would have been a different season, man. Like the Niners would have been higher up in the standings, but I mean, now we're going to the Super Bowl. It's Kansas City, or it's Cincinnati and fucking LA, and fuck the Rams. So go Bengals. I'm with you, Buffalo.
Yep, let's go Bengals, man. Got to root for them. I want to see Joe Burrow smoking that cigar after they win.
I almost made the all WNY logo in. I almost put tiger stripes in it this week on the thumbnail, but I'm like, you know what? I'll do it next week because it's the week of the Super Bowl. But like, yeah, no, I just fuck the Rams.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I do like Matt Stafford. I think he's a gamer, but I have a hard time supporting the Rams just because they moved the team so many times throughout its history.
This was probably the best NFL playoffs ever. I just wish the Rams weren't in the Super Bowl. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, that's this has been one of the best ever. I mean,
it's been a lot of fun to watch, but it has not been fun to watch my team because they've been so close to losing every game that it's just like, oh, come on, please don't let this be. And especially against LA, like when LA got went up by 3, it's like, fuck, we're gonna fucking lose to the Rams. We beat them the last 6 times we played them, including that huge comeback 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
And we're gonna lose to the fucking Rams. Like
it was basically a flip of that script, right? Because like the 49ers were up like 17-3 or something at one point. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to rub it in. I'm just saying it's like
it is what it is, man.
It was surprising, like, because the 49ers' strength has been their defense all year.
Give the Rams credit, though, because they stopped the 49ers' run game, and that's exactly how you stop the 49ers.
Yeah.
You cannot rely on Jimmy G to have to pass the ball. You need to get that run game going. So, unfortunately, the Rams were right there stopping it, and it just didn't happen for us. So,
you got a bright future, man. You got Trey Lance coming out next year. He's going to be slinging it.
Trey Lance era is about to begin, and let's hopefully things will go our way soon. So, we'll be back with Debo and with Raheem Mostert healthy, with Nick Bosa's coming back. Like, everything, like, we'll be back. And so will you. So will the Bills. Dude, absolutely.
I mean, both of us have probably really fun seasons ahead of us next year.
Sure.
Anything can happen.
It's a lot better than the first decade of this century for both teams. All right, let's get into some music here. This is a band called Gunthers Radio, and I have the information here. Let me get that. They are performing Saturday at Milky's with Dead Orchids, Moxie Cleveland Cabaret, and Take Two. That's at 9 p.m., $7 at the door, 21 and up. That is presented by Struggling Promotions or Productions or whatever. It's still it's a better name than The Struggle Is Real, Ryan. Anyway, so this is the song called Bring Me Back on All WNY, ThinkSoJoE Show.
Records in my head
That's Gunthers Radio on all WNY ThinkSoJoE show. Let me get this chat highlighted here. And
Yeah.
as the most recent loser of the Rams, St. Louis, it sucks. They were here 20 seasons, had one of the worst records during that period, and then they leave and suddenly become consistently good. So it's personal with you against the Rams, man. I get that.
Dude, and I mean, I am not a fan of the Rams. I wasn't even watching football when, like, the Greatest Show on Turf happened and everything. But, like, I remember when they left, and I was like, I know how much the Bills mean to Buffalo, and I've been in Western New York my entire life, and I was sitting there, like, heartbroken for the city of St. Louis and my friends in St. Louis being like, you lost, 20 weeks out of your year, basically, that this is what you were thinking about. Like, the culture changes. You can't fucking move the teams. Like, it's just too ingrained in the culture of local areas. That I feel the same way about the Chargers. I'm like sick for the people in San Diego, including like my cousin and his wife who live down there. Like, Jesus Christ, dude, you can't move the teams.
I'm watching this game the other day. Obviously, I'm watching the game, me being a 49ers fan, lifelong Niners fan, rooting against the division rivals, the Rams. And I'm watching this game, and it's just like, whose house? Rams' house. Like, you guys share that with the Chargers, and when you play us, there's more of our fans there than yours. Like, including, in the playoffs. They were trying to block Niners fans from being able to buy tickets. Anybody outside of LA was not allowed to buy tickets, like when they first went on sale. Yeah. So there's people in LA like, hey, who wants tickets? I'll buy them and then I'll sell them to you guys. So like, and then there's me who's sitting here like, how much does it cost to fly to LA? How much are tickets? I saw the cost of the flight to LA and I'm like, I could do that. Mm-hmm. Then I saw the cost of tickets and I'm like, I can't do all of that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It was like $700 just to get in. Like,
yeah,
nah, not gonna do that. I'll watch on the projector. Best seat in the house, But
yeah, the playoff tickets are nuts, except for the Bills against the Pats. But that was because people were
fucking weather, man. That was terrible.
That was a significant weather event. That's an outlier for sure.
We were, but going back to moving the teams, like there have been scares of the Bills or the Sabres leaving Buffalo, and nobody wants that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I could care less about the Bills, but like, I don't want my friends to lose their team, man. I don't want you guys to have to, either pick a new team or, have to, get all new gear because you don't have Buffalo Bills anymore. You have to root for whoever they become. And the name Bills wouldn't make sense anywhere else. They would change their name to probably something better than the Commanders. But
oh God, yeah, dude, yeah. Oh, that was fucked up. So the Washington football team has had 2 years to sit and think about what their new name is going to be. And there have been all of these leaks, and we've talked about it before.
And it got completely spoiled last night by a helicopter flying over the stadium.
Right. And among all of the names that they could have picked, and all of the copyright and the trademark trolling, and the people squatting on it, and they finally land on the Commanders. So every time the Bills play them, I get to call them the Commies. Like.
That was one of the posts I saw,
man.
That was one of the posts I saw. Is what do we chant now? Do we let's go Comms? Let's go Commanders? Let's go Commie? What do we say?
Let's go Commies.
We can't chant the name. But the good news is that the NFL and Kronk paid the almost $1 billion to settle the relocation lawsuit. It proves that we weren't a bad fan base, and that it was all about increasing revenue, which is exactly what would have been the case had the Bills been bought and moved, or the Sabres moved when they were owned by the league for a brief period there.
Exactly. It's every team has a good and highly dedicated fan base, certainly of varying sizes. St. Louis is a big media market. It is not in the top half of what the NFL is, but it's way bigger than Buffalo and Green Bay and shit. And like, St. Louis showed up. Like, Kurt Warner wanders around there and he still freaking doesn't have to freaking buy a beer. Like, I know how dedicated the people were. Yep. And that's why it makes me so sick, is they're like, we can move it to LA, a city that doesn't give a flying fuck about football, and stick it there and still make more money.
And share the building with the Chargers on top of that. So
and at the end of the day, they're just going, I don't give a fuck about those fans that love this. And I understand that it is a business. Like, I understand on some level it's not about someone individually, but like it kills me thinking about like if you've got like families that like, like just moved there and we're having kids and we're excited about, you get to take your kid to their first couple games and then all of a sudden the team is gone. You're left there brokenhearted, like, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, I grew up with my dad taking me to Bills games and being an integral part of the culture. If they left, I don't know what the hell I would do. I'd probably leave. I'd probably move somewhere else.
I think it's one thing to move from like San Diego to LA, but to move from like St. Louis to LA is just, that's a long way to go. At least you got the Blues.
Brutal.
You got the Blues, you got the Cardinals.
And the Blues won with the Sabres boy Ryan O'Reilly.
Yeah. I own a Blues jersey. I kind of like the St. Louis Blues a little bit. Oh, that's why my volume was going down. The thing fell on top of it. Anyway, okay, now it's out of the way. That won't happen again. Anyway, but I mean, there are places where I could see a relocation being a good thing, like our dear friends, the Coyotes.
Yeah, that situation's kind of a mess.
That's a mess, man. That is, they're out of their arena, or they're going to be out of their arena for what is it, unpaid rent?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
And it was a shockingly small amount of money. It was like $700,000 or something, which like an NHL franchise should be able to come up with on a payment plan over a span of 3 years or something. It's crazy that is what made it so they could not renew their lease.
So they're behind on rent. They're getting kicked out of their building. They're moving apparently to a 5,000 seat college arena for next season. Just at this point, Quebec wants a team.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, Quebec City wants a team. Bring them to Quebec. Let's bring back the Nordiques. Like,
yeah, And it's so hard because it does go against the opposite of what I was just saying. Because it's like, I know that there are dedicated fans in Arizona. Like, I'm talking to them on Reddit and stuff, and I know how much they love them, but like, it's reached a point where like the franchise is like insolvent now because they're not even going to sell out that 5,000 person arena. And part of this too, this is not the fan base's fault. They put the arena in like a retirement community that's like an hour and 20-minute drive from the city center. So it's poor planning, like poor civic planning on the team and the city's behalf as well. But like, if you're reaching a point where you can literally no longer afford to operate, it's a better argument for moving to somewhere where the team will be sustainable than it is for, we're already doing great with a city that loves us, but we're going to move it to LA and make more money. Like,
exactly.
Fuck that.
I mean, for the Coyotes, they could probably, if the league wanted to, they could probably just do what they did with Buffalo and Ottawa several years ago, where, oh, you guys are broke? Okay, we'll buy you until somebody comes along with money and buys you. But I just don't see Arizona being a sustainable market for an NHL team, even though they've been there for a while.
Yeah, it's...
you know what I mean? I mean, like, how long did the Thrashers last?
Yeah, the Thrashers were about, like, 12 years or something,
Yeah.
and then they became Winnipeg again.
Yeah.
Or not again, sorry, they became Winnipeg because Winnipeg became Arizona, I think.
Right.
The original iteration of the Winnipeg Jets, I think, became Arizona.
That's a whole confusing thing. Yeah. Like the lineage of the Cleveland Browns. Speaking of Cleveland, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees.
Oh, look at that. Look at this king of the Segus.
Yeah, I used to be really good at those on the wrestling podcast. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees are out now. You can go vote at vote.rockhall.com. And it's a tough vote this year for me. I'll tell you, so...
How many get in?
You can vote for 5 a day. I don't know how many actually get in.
Oh, okay.
Here's the list is Beck, Pat Benatar. I voted for Pat Benatar today.
As well you should.
Kate Bush, Devo, Duran. I voted for them today.
I like Duran.
Eminem, which you're telling me it's been 25 fucking years since Eminem came out? God damn it.
Yeah, dude, I feel old.
The Eurythmics, Judas Priest, I think this is their second year of eligibility. I think they were nominated last year and didn't get in.
I'm actually surprised they're not in already.
Fela Kuti was also on last year's, if I recall correctly. MC5, the New York Dolls. Here's an obvious one to pick, Dolly Parton. Definitely, I voted for her today. Rage Against the Machine.
Yep.
Lionel Richie, Carly Simon. My other vote was A Tribe Called Quest.
My man. There we go.
And Dionne Warwick. Those are your nominees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You could go vote at vote.rockhall.com. And it's here's the thing, it's a fan voted thing, and then fans are just like, well, why didn't so and so get in? Did you vote for him?
Right.
Just like the All WNY Awards, which are coming back, and nominations are going to open soon, and we'll tell you when nominations happen. We will promote the fuck out of it when nominations happen. So when your favorite artist, a local artist, doesn't get nominated for an All WNY Award, I don't want to hear, well, how come so and so wasn't nominated? Why didn't you nominate them? Anyway.
Somebody nominate Shambles. We haven't done anything since 2019. I mean, we've been playing shows, but like we haven't released anything since 2019. So get us on there for like best new album or something.
It's gonna be weird because we do like best live show and stuff, but it's been hard with live shows over the last couple of years. Like just trying to pick music for the shows, for the podcast has just been like, who's playing locally this week? And then it's like nobody. It's all like cover bands. And
it's amateur hockey club.
Yeah.
Every single night of every week.
Yeah. So it's been like really hard to find. Here's the thing will be the ThinkSoJoE show, says Laura. Here's the thing with Scott Leffler's Monday podcast on All WNY, and I don't know when the last time he actually did an episode was. But no, it's really been like the same artists over and over and over again. And it's like, oh, look, Station Wagon's playing this week, but I just played them like 3 weeks ago, so I don't want to play them again. Luckily, like I knew Trey James had some new music. Trey of Voice of Dissent had some new music, which is going to get played at the end of the show here. And like somebody reached out to me, Carrie Faye reached out to me. She's got a new album coming out, I think, next Friday. So she reached out to me to talk about the album and plugging that. And we'll talk more about that next week as that approaches. But like for the most part, it's like who's playing this weekend and that I haven't played a lot of lately. And, so like Gunthers Radio, I don't think I've ever played. So that was, cool to find them and, that they're playing a show this weekend or whatever. So it's like, all right, cool. Let's play these guys that I've never heard of. And it's cool because they're, they're on Ryan Garnett's show at Milky's from the Struggling Productions. And, as much as Ryan and I talk shit to each other, especially around All WNY award season, it's, go check out his shows, man. This is a killer lineup with Gunthers Radio, Dead Orchids, Moxie, Cleveland Cabaret, and Take Two, again, 9 p.m., $7, 21 on the door on Saturday. GRUB we've booked them and played them a bunch, but, it's been a while, so it was cool to see that they got a show coming up. Stress Dolls, it's been before we were doing the video podcast that we last played them. But it's still like, where are all the bands? Everybody's still hiding, and rightfully so. We don't want to get anybody sick. We want everybody to be safe.
Well, there's different levels of comfort that people have with it, and at the same time, like, there's some people that, spent all of quarantine, just learning cover songs instead of doing anything new. Don't ask me who I'm talking about, but
you're in two bands like that, so
yeah. Sometimes when you're sitting at home for 2 months, nothing inspires you to write a song about anything.
Dude, when I went to Tops today was the first time I've left the house other than to get my kid since the last time we did band practice.
Oh, jeez, dude.
Yeah.
You got to be going nuts.
It's been a couple. So, I mean, it's not like I'm not doing anything, but like Monday, I think I posted on Facebook, like, I really want to go out, but I really don't want to do anything. And the whole thing was like, I was going to go to Dollar Tree and get some, get some glasses or something to use as like pudding cups, So that way I could stop buying snack packs and just fucking make pudding or Jello or whatever the fuck. So, but that's neither here nor there, I guess. But anyway.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. I'm excited that there's some shows coming up. I don't know. I have that same struggle that you were just talking about.
We're playing in March with Knutton. I don't remember the day off the top of my head. I think it's the 17th.
Yeah, let me see.
I might be wrong.
It's in my work calendar, not my phone calendar.
It's a Friday. It's a Friday, which might make things interesting for us because we need to get together with our singer.
Yeah, that's right.
And practice
long distance
before that.
Singer.
So, which I didn't realize. Let's see, Knutton, Living Brain Dead, and more, and that show is coming up March 18th, Friday, March 18th, 8 p.m., 7 at the door, 21 and up. Knutton with the Living Brain Dead, and there's going to be another band, but I don't know who it is yet. So We'll tell you when we find out. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing a show and, like getting out and hopefully people come out and, playing with Knuten is always cool. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'll get to finally play a show with you guys. I was supposed to have done that a couple months ago. But
you've been in this band since like October, and you have not met our singer yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta say, it's an interesting operation you guys have. I'm starting to believe that you actually don't have a singer. It's one of those, like, I have a girlfriend up in Canada situations, which I think my drummer's going through right now.
I was gonna say, isn't one of your bandmates doing that right now?
Yeah.
Your other bandmates?
Yeah, he keeps saying, like, I can't practice this weekend or whatever because I'm going to visit this girl in Canada. I think he's at home playing Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Kevin and I are the only ones in the living brain dead, not also in other bands. John and Kevin wasn't there when John told us that he's in this other band, so he's posting like, I need a lead guitarist. And Kevin's like, are you cheating on me? But I mean, you were already in Shambles and John was in another band when we picked him up, so he was out of that band, now he's back in that band because the guy that he didn't like is gone, and the guy that nobody liked is gone, I should say. As soon as John's like, yeah, he's out of that band and I'm back in that band, I ended up like deleting the dude off Facebook. Like, I don't need to be friends with you anymore. See you, dude.
I don't need any more stress and drama in my life. Yeah.
I just realized I never hit the button. We're not actually airing on all WNY right now.
Oh no, really?
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, Scott. Well, he don't know. We couldn't get on all WNY last week. I'm texting Scott like, dude, it's timing out. I can't get on. He's like, why does this always happen when I can't fix it?
Are we on now?
No.
Nice.
I mean, what the hell's the point of starting 52 minutes into the show?
Right. Ride or die, man. It's like Kramer and the car salesman driving
like this,
on the
like
empty
the
tank.
Like the podcast will go up and it'll be fine. John was amazing. I don't know who she's talking about. Are you talking about JT? Because that's the only John I can. Oh, the other. No,
John
our
Kozlowski?
John Jon, our drummer. Yes, okay. Yes. Oh fuck, John's here the other day. We're watching he came over with Sam from Wasted Reject, and we're watching the Royal Rumble, and we're they're getting ready to leave, and I'm telling them about like an interview I did with a dude on the wrestling podcast where I thought it was gonna be this killer interview because this dude was like shit talking me all the way up until the day of the interview, and he comes on and I'm asking him questions and he's just like, "Yep,"
just giving you flat like monosyllabic answers,
one word answers. I'm just like it's almost like having John co-host the show. And John's just like, God damn it. I'm like, what do you want, dude? Like, you didn't say much when you were on. I think
that's really funny. John is I love John. John is a man of very few words, and his words are impactful when he uses them. I am the opposite. I have tons of words, and I say absolutely nothing. So I think I'm at home right here.
Yeah. Well, it was I think like, as soon as the lights and the camera went on, he's just like deer in the headlights kind of deal. You know what I mean? But like, he's not used to this. And I know this isn't like, something you were doing regularly before this, but like.
I remember my first show afterward, I was like, yeah, I'll try to say more next time.
Yeah. I mean, once you realize it's just, me and you having a conversation, just people happen to be able to hear it.
Exactly. Exactly.
But and we have to intersperse music every half hour, but
which is actually probably the best part, which is why Laura goes so apeshit for it, because it's like, yeah, just play the music.
Hey, those guys are gonna shut up now, and I can hear some music.
And we jumped right into responding to Ningwid right after that song ended by Gunthers Radio. That song was great. Like while we were listening to it, I was trying to say, I was like, what does this remind me of? But it's kind of like, I guess they described it as like 90s rock, and I get that, but it also kind of reminded me of that like late 90s pop indie as well, which is something I, listen to over and over and over. It didn't sound exactly like Built to Spill, but that's kind of the wheelhouse I was getting from the production and everything, and it's right in my wheelhouse. It was excellent, so I really dug that tune.
Ningwid Records dug it too, so yeah, I always say Buffalo has the best musicians. You just got to find them, man, and that's kind of what this podcast is about, really. I mean, it's a podcast about nothing. What is the deal with local music? Anyway.
It's awesome.
But seriously though, like I think we have some of the best, the best bands, best musicians, period. And they formed some of the best bands. And you get bands like Gunthers Radio, GRUB, Stress Dolls, Working Class Stiffs.
Yeah.
Shambles and the Living Brain Dead.
Listen to Shambles. We don't suck.
I told you that I was interacting with Tim from Ningwood earlier, and you're just like, play Shambles.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm like, I've already like.
I was joking around. It's not. It wouldn't be punk rock of me to actually advertise my band, but like I got a kick out of that, and you're like, oh, I actually would have if and I was like, dude, like, nah, you don't play. Don't play
I honestly like I got the package. I put the shirt on. I'm like, I'm gonna wear this on the podcast, and I happened to tell him I was gonna do it. And he's like, oh, I'll tune in. So it's like, huh, man, I already did all the promotion stuff, so I can't like just be like, oh, I'm gonna play Living Brain Dead and Shambles instead. But
I can't. We can't do Shambles.
No, you're right. It's not punk rock it's not punk rock to be like, ooh, a guy who's running a record company is listening. We need to play our bands. We'll just talk about him. Maybe he'll listen. LivingBrainDead.bandcamp.com. Bandcamp Friday's back this week. Bandcamp Friday. We're gonna have some. I'm working on it. We're gonna hopefully have some new merch.
Man, you guys, we have merch.
We're gonna have some new merch.
Overachiever.
Well, so we do a lot of like print on demand stuff, but I do it myself. So like the hoodies we have are like print on, like I do them on demand. So that way we don't have to like really put a lot of money into inventory. We have what we have on hand. Like we have the what we call the distressed shirt, which is based on an old like 1990s Marilyn Manson t-shirt. And we have like the skull t-shirt, and we have the one with the shield, and like, we have like wristbands and stuff that we bring with us, but we don't, there's a lot of stuff that we will just be like, okay, if you want this, we're gonna just make this on demand, because we don't know what the market is gonna be. So like, we did a gender fluid t-shirt. We haven't put that out yet, but that's one of the ones that's probably gonna go up this week. So like,
I've got the long sleeve of that. And it's awesome.
You do, because I accidentally bought a long sleeve shirt and like, oh shit, okay, well I guess Ryan's getting a long sleeve.
Hell yeah, shirt's great.
But yeah, definitely, like we're gonna do other pride flags, and we're trying to hit like kind of the underrepresented LGBTQ plus community, like the gender fluid, like the asexual, like that, just that kind of stuff. And we're gonna do. Just probably a bunch of like just put them up on the Bandcamp exclusives, just to kind of, it's there if you want it, but we don't know what the demand is actually going to be to actually make them, bring them to the shows, and then like we're stuck with like 70 of them. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, you don't want to end up in that situation.
So we do a lot of. So I do a lot of like the on-demand stuff. So like the hoodies are on demand. So we don't have to carry them around. 2, we don't have to throw $30 into each hoodie, and hope people buy them at shows. But we always wear them at shows, so people are always, oh, where can I get that? And so I go on Bandcamp, and then they go on Bandcamp and they buy them, and then we see them wearing them around at other shows, and it's just the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, hey, look, people are rocking our shit.
Hell yeah. Well, you could probably just do like 2 or 3 of each size and bring them with you to shows, and then do them on demand, whatever ones you don't sell at shows. And
but I think like in this run, we're going to do a whole bunch of different ones. So we're going to do like, we're going to offer that gender fluid one. We're going to offer like an ace one, just a regular pride one, a trans pride one, just all kinds of stuff like that. So, that's kind of, the best, I think the best way to go is to just do them on demand. So we have all these different variants that people can buy depending on their own personality and, or their personal affiliation, their personal, part of the LGBTQ plus community, or you know what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely, yeah.
But like so
trying to demonstrate the level of inclusivity that we want to embody as a band, which is everybody.
We're gonna get to the music in a minute, Laura. We will. But we've got comments here I want to highlight real quick before we go. So Ningwood Records, he does the shirts on demand for Ningwood. Orange Tree on Ningwood Records, and Candyline was the other shirt he sent me. Print on demand is the way to go.
Nice.
And he also
Good call.
says, I have no problem with shameless promotion.
Great. Well, that sounds good. I am at Shambles the band. Go ahead and check out Shambles. We're Buffalo's greatest band. Nah, man, I'm just fucking around.
You're also in the Living Brain Dead.
And
Buffalo's best kept secret. Anyway. All right. And this is GRUB from Niagara Falls, New York. They're playing. Their album release party is actually Saturday at Ironworks with Disco. And that's at 8 p.m. It's $20. And it's 18 and up. Again, at Ironworks. This is GRUB, and this song's called Marmalade. It's from that new album. Check it out. All WI.
When you go by, do you know why? Everyone looks your way. You feel alright. Stay out most nights. I can't seem to find my place. Do you notice how the sun comes up? Night to day, I can't wake up. Just float away. I look out to see inside. Upside down, nowhere to hide. Take me away. I can be your everything. You can be my summer day. Sweetest sugar marmalade. I will be your everything. I can feel it in my veins. You can be my summer rain. I can be your everything. Will you be loved? Yes, you'll be loved. It isn't the first time, won't be the last time. I just do it because will I be loved? Could you give a fuck? Isn't my first time, won't be my last time. I can do this for fun.
Will you be loved? Yes, you'll be loved.
Isn't the first time, won't be the last time. I just do it because will I be loved? Could you give a fuck? Isn't my first time, won't be my last time. I can do this for fun. I can be your everything. You can be my summer day. Sweet as sugar marmalade. I will be your everything. I can feel it in my veins. You can be my summer rain. I can be your everything. I can be your everything. I can be your everything. You can be my summer day. Sweet as sugar marmalade. I will be your everything. I can feel it in my veins. You can be my summer rain. I can be your everything.
All right, that was GRUB on all WNY Think So Joe Show, song called Marmalade on all WNY Think So Joe Show. Not
like
actually on all WNY because I forgot to hit the button again. Sorry, Scott. Anyway.
I like that. It was groovy.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I for
Phaser
sure. Like
guitar solo
GRUB's a
was
great
cool.
band, man. Like they're out of Niagara Falls. They play a lot of like Rapids Theater shows and stuff, but like
Nice.
we can't fault them for that.
I haven't been up there in years, man. Last time I went to the Rapids Theater, I think it was like Real Big Fish with Streetlight Manifesto. So that's how long ago that was. You know, fucking 12 years or something.
I think maybe the last time I went was a Steel Panther show. Like the one where they were doing a bunch of covers, like not the one with Corey Taylor, but like the one after that. And I didn't stay for Corey Taylor when I saw him with Corey Taylor either. I was just like, I want to see Steel Panther and go home. Nothing against Corey Taylor. It was just not what I was into at the time and not what I really wanted. Like, I wanted to see Steel Panther. And Brian got me into that show for free. He was like, I'll sneak you in if I have to. And I didn't even know, like, by the time I left Buffalo, if I was going to have a ticket for that show. He was like, I'll sneak you in the back if I have to. But luckily, he was able to get me a ticket, and I was able to go in. And I was just like, all right, cool.
Nice.
Got up to the front, saw Steel Panther, and then had to, like, it took me 20 minutes to get out of the building. Because so many people were, like, it was sold out. But yeah, I haven't been to, like, I don't want to go to Rapids, man. Like, I even was going to skip the Limp Bizkit show before it got canceled. Like, I wasn't going to go because, you know, like, fuck Rapids.
It's a long way to get up to Niagara Falls, like, surprisingly. It's not that far from here, but it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't dislike that venue. I just know that you guys have had some issues. So,
I mean, we've had issues, and then there was the whole thing with them, you know, saying, vaccine cards were Nazi papers, and then trying to deny it, deny that they said that.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
When everybody's got screenshots like, no, you guys actually said this. Here's proof. Like, oh no, that was a different account. No, the other account has this name. This is your account. Like, what are you guys trying to pull here? Like, own up to it and be like, look, we fucked up.
Yeah.
Don't double down on it like somebody else did it. No, the fuck they didn't. Anyway.
That's like PR 101 is if you fuck something up, just say, hey, you know, I'm sorry. We did the wrong thing. We didn't mean to. Although it's a little tough to apologize for comparing a vaccine passport to Nazi papers, which, you know, there's a very different level of yeah, I understand, but
so
you still don't deny it.
I mean, like, you know, but if you are like me and you don't, you know, you think that's a fucked up thing that they did, and the fact, what really got me was the fact that they tried to deny it and be like, oh no, it wasn't us. When, like, clearly here's a screenshot of you guys literally saying it in your comments, trying to say there was this other account that had a slightly different name when, you know, like, okay, this is this account, but this is your account, guys. We're not stupid. You know, doubling down on it, but, you know, it's a thing of, you know, vote with your wallet. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, okay, fuck them. I don't have to support them. It sucks because they do get some good shows. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to go there. I don't want to support them. And then, you know, it's like the whole Spotify thing right now. The Neil Young thing. So, like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not clamoring to listen to Neil Young. Nothing against Neil Young. I like Neil Young. I got one of his albums. Like, you know, nothing against Neil Young.
Sure.
But, and normally when there's an ultimatum, I'm on the side of the person, you know, I'm not on the side of the person issuing the ultimatum, usually.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's either him or me.
Right, usually.
It should be him, because fuck you.
Right.
You know, like, but like in this case, I can't argue with what Neil Young's beef is. Like, Joe Rogan, if he's on his podcast and he's saying some of the things that, you know, I've read that he's said, I've never listened to his podcast. I don't give a fuck about this guy. And you know, I'm not going to pull my fucking music from Spotify. One, I don't even know how to do that because I wasn't the one that put it up there. It was Brian, and he's gone. So what am I going to do? Call up his ex, like, hey, can you take my music off Spotify? Like, or I shouldn't say his ex, but, you know, like, you know, call up his partner, like, hey, I know I haven't called you since, like, the memorial show, but can you take our music off Spotify? Mm-hmm. But only Spotify, and then she's got to go into DistroKid, and she's got to take us off of one specific platform. Like, no, I'm not going through all that. And it's going to cost Spotify a lot more money if I just say, you know what, fuck Spotify, I'm going to cancel my account and go elsewhere, which I did. Yeah. And again, this is not, you know, normally in a situation where it's like, it's either him or me, okay, it's him because you're obviously the problem if you're making this ultimatum.
Right, that is usually my stance as well.
But I get the argument against Joe Rogan. I get that some of the stuff he's saying is probably dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, like, it could be dangerous if the wrong person is listening.
That's the thing with it, is it's a very interesting free speech issue that I'm kind of, I don't want to say unwilling to take a stance on, because, like, I used to listen to that show all the time. I thought he was an awesome long-form interviewer. He did an episode with Steve-O from Jackass like 6 or 7 years ago, and it was awesome. It was this in-depth, like really great discussion that was centered on what Steve-O is talking about. Over the last couple of years, and I stopped listening like 2 or 3 years ago or something, he's leaned very far into these libertarian and bordering on alt-right type of views that don't reflect the way I feel, and it was kind of all he started talking about. And, you know, I'm not for like censorship and condemning free speech, but what the issue here is he's supposed to be an entertainer, and people are supposed to recognize that. And instead, what's happening with this platform is it's galvanizing people, and they're using it as like news. It's kind of the same thing Fox News is doing, actually, and like CNN and stuff, whereas it's supposed to be an editorial, and people are viewing it as though it is the end-all, be-all, literal interpretation of what the information is. And I think we've talked about this before, like once you get to a point where your platform is having that sort of influence on people, you kind of have a responsibility to be accurate. And then what happens there is people start arguing, well, what is accurate? And it's like, you know what, that's a good question. There are things that are up for debate. There are things in dispute. And I am not smart enough to articulate what needs to happen. But I understand both sides of this argument, because I don't want to say, yeah, censor that guy, but I also understand that people are taking everything he says literally, and it's hurting them. So, like, where do you land on that? You know,
Right, and I'm not saying he shouldn't have his platform. He's obviously got his fans, but I mean, like, I think, you know, and he's saying now that all of this is happening, he's saying, okay, I'm going to try and balance some of these more controversial viewpoints and have other opinions and things like that. And that's, you know, that's part of being responsible. Spotify's going to put a content warning ahead of it. Or they're going to put a content warning on anything that talks about COVID-19. So this podcast right here, once that kicks in, this episode will probably have that content warning.
COVID-19 warning.
Because we are talking about COVID-19. Now, obviously, you know, we're not taking it to the extreme of saying we got COVID-19, we took a horse dewormer, and we were fine. At least I'm not. I don't know what you did to be bad. you suffered for a week and a half, man.
I got vaxxed and boosted, and I still got it. But hey, I'm an asthmatic, so my understanding is I'd probably be dead right now if I didn't have those. So I'm glad I got them.
So my biggest issue was like, okay, you know, I get Neil Young's point.
So do I.
And for Spotify to just be like, okay, well, we're going to take your music off, we're going to keep him. That was kind of like, man, that doesn't come across good. That doesn't leave a good taste in my mouth.
No, Spotify's actually in a lot of trouble here, because after Neil Young did that, then, man, who was it? It was someone from the E Street Band said they were going to remove their personal music. And, like, you know, obviously that it says he's from the E Street Band in his headline makes it sound like it's a bigger deal than it is.
Right.
But then Springsteen shows up and is like, yeah, I'm going to back my guy here. So, like, Spotify paid Rogan like $100 million.
Yes.
And Spotify has not turned a profit yet as a company. So they're in the hole, and now they're going to start hemorrhaging other artists.
I think
they're fucked.
I think they dropped to like 20% when Neil Young, when they chose Neil Young over Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And I don't like the, you know, it's either him or me, but I get it in this case.
I do too.
And for me, so like it was, you know, the next day I'm sitting here like, do I really need Spotify? And I've already got the YouTube music with the YouTube Premium, and like I have a family plan on that. So now between that and Spotify, I'm paying $25 a month for music, and I wanted to keep something that I could play on my you know, Amazon devices, because I have one of those in the bathroom connected to, you know, nice speakers. So when I'm taking a shower, I can listen to music. And so I wanted to just make, you know, I wanted to keep so I actually went to Amazon Music, which, you know, Amazon as a company is not that great either. But I mean, like, you know, I can listen to almost anything I want. I can play it on that device, and it's, you know, I have it so I can just walk into the bathroom, be like, wiretap, play this band or play this genre, play this decade, and it'll play it. Well, and I can listen to music You know, and then I also keep the YouTube because I have a shit ton more Google fucking accounts. Plus, I get the YouTube Premium with that, so
Yeah, man.
you get the ad-free YouTube experience, which is which is nice.
It's a very complicated situation, and I commend anybody for like I don't know, having an opinion and sticking to it, because like I saw Neil Young doing that and I was like, oh yeah, right on, and then it turned into this thing where it actually is like a boycott, and I was like, oh dude, I don't have the fortitude to delete this app and find something new. You've got to be kidding me. Like this is $10 a month. Shit. Now I have a moral quandary to deal with when I'm just trying to get through the day.
Amazon $7.99 a month. Anyway.
All right, fair enough, man. Save them $2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that you're gonna get everything that you have on Spotify on Amazon, but I mean, like, you know, you've got.
I'll be able to find anything.
You've got
I'm just
that.
lazy.
You've got that integration with your smart home devices. And I don't want to say the name because every time I'm sitting here doing a voiceover about wrestling last night, and I get I get to a point. There's a wrestler, Alexa Bliss, and I'm doing a story about her, and all of a sudden I hear this fucking thing talking to me about, oh, I found this on YouTube. Like, no, shut the fuck up. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking about somebody named Alexa. You know.
We don't have any of those smart devices in our house yet, but we did just buy a smart TV that we can talk to. That'll be the first one. I don't know, man. I'm like an old soul. Like I find them. I know people can listen to me on my phone. I understand that every phone is like wiretapped, but like I have a hard time with the idea of like knowingly inviting in a device that is always listening at any given time. Like I remember when my dad got it, I was like, hey, I won't say the name, and it was, is the government watching me? And it was like, ding. We are very careful with all of the information. It was so dystopian and creepy. I was like, I can't reconcile that with my smart device free reality just yet. I'm not ready for that. I don't know if I ever will be.
I just love the automation I have on things. So like I can, all the lights that are on in front of us, I can turn off right now if I just tell one of the devices to do it. So
it is cool.
Yeah,
it is really cool.
You know, everything's fucking online now. Everything is a smart fucking device, and everything's online. Like, I'm on my phone. I had to go on my phone the other day because I wanted to change the LEDs in here to just like straight up red because they were rainbow since like June. And I didn't want to change nothing because the Niners were doing good. So as soon as they were out, I'm like, okay, now I can make everything red. So I'm sitting here, I have to go on an app, connect to Bluetooth, change the speakers, like, or change the lights. Like, yeah. I don't know. I don't. Oh, gee, the government is listening to me. Oh, well. Half the shit I do is on a fucking podcast anyway.
Right.
So.
No, it is one of those things where it's like, you're completely and totally right. Like, I recognize that it is an unreasonable thought of mine to be like, I'm protecting myself by not getting one of these in-home devices that you talk to as I walk around with a smartphone. I am well aware. It's just like a cognitive disconnect or a cognitive dissonance thing where I'm just like, I'm not ready for it yet. But you're totally right. Like everything that I have ever Googled on this, everything I have ever searched for is in a database in a server warehouse somewhere that when I'm president, they're going to bring it up and I'll never be president. I was fucking around. But like someday in whatever job I'm in, I'll be working in the same job I'm in right now. And they're going to be doing like a background check because we get additional federal funding or something. And they will pull up things that I have searched for, and then I'll have to answer for why I was reading about them at 3 a.m. Like, so like,
because I couldn't fucking sleep.
Exactly. Let me figure out who wrote the Golden Girls. I don't know. Whatever. All the Wikipedia rabbit holes you end up going down.
For sure.
That's the thing is like it's so much useless information that's coming from everyone that it probably is a better idea for me to get another device just so there's a larger data dump that's more for people to sift through.
I mean, I've got this thing. They can tell whatever fucking books I read. So, except for the ones I read on stage with Yellow Sauce, and I'm just sitting there actually reading a physical book.
Analog.
Yeah, old school. John Johnson, what's up? Good to see you.
Yo.
Kid must be back sleeping again. He jumped in late last week. Yeah. But yeah, I don't. It's just an issue of convenience for me. How much data am I willing to give up to be able to turn my lights on by not doing anything other than telling the lights to turn on? You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, this shit's all gonna, like, I have a Facebook account, I have a smartphone, I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, I have all this shit. Who doesn't have my fucking data by this point, right? It's
Right.
like, fuck it. Who
Dude,
cares?
I'm starting to get to that point where it's showing me Facebook memories of who I was, 13, 14 years ago. And it's so cringy. I wish I could go back and punch myself in the fucking face.
I read
it's
a thing.
so difficult.
I read this whole thing. It was like one of those like 25 things about me, and I was reading that. And I'm just like, yeah, that's not true anymore. That's not true. Nope, that's not true. Like, who the fuck was this person?
I had an extended period of my life where like all I did were post like lyrics from songs by minor bands on like Epitaph Records, like Oscar, and it wouldn't be coherent full thoughts that were like a full stanza. It was like a portion of a line, and I would post and think I was being prophetic. No likes, no comments, and it took me like 10 years to realize what I was interested in was the melody, and I needed to sit down and write a fucking song instead of continue to try to connect people with people in this way. But oh god, they just keep coming. They're so bad.
Who doesn't have Joe's address? So here's a story for you. There was this client that I was working for, and basically like just doing all her work for free because it was all like short stuff, and I was just starting. So I was like, yeah, whatever, sure, let's do it. And she was like, oh, she wanted. I forget what the fuck the thing, what came up, and I was just like, I'm not hard to find off of Fiverr. And the next thing I know, I got a physical like card or something in the mail from her. I'm like, I didn't think I was that easy to find off of Fiverr. But Laura has found my address. That girl randomly found my address. Like, I guess I am not hard to fucking find. But yes, it's true. Who doesn't have Joe's address? Tim at Ningquist, he's got my Ningquist, he's got my address. That's how I got this T-shirt. Seriously, though, I don't. Like, who? Yeah.
It's going to be one of the next Shambles and Living Brain Dead songs. Will just be your address over and over and over and
It'd be like that Mike Jones song from the 90s where he just kept giving his own phone number out over and over again. Yeah.
Man, that freaking rules.
Yeah. I think when I finally do get out of here and get a house, like, I'm going to do my best to not have my address easily available.
Can't escape it, buddy.
I'm going to get a fucking P.O. box and shit, like...
Yeah, City of Buffalo, OARS, man. I'm going to pull them deeds. I'm going to look at what you paid.
I've already sold your personal information to like 300 companies. I won you a signed picture. Yes, you did.
Really?
I still have it. It's somewhere. It's, was it Mackenzie Mitchell or something? It's in the basement, I think, with the rest of the wrestling figures and stuff that got moved out of here.
Little basement shrine.
Yeah, there's a whole storage box down there of just stuff I didn't have room for. Of course, now I'm going to have room, so,
Yeah.
Oh,
there you go. Get them all back out.
And Karina came over after the show last week, and she was getting some of her stuff, and I was like, we're talking about her dresser she has in there, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm getting a new TV, so I'm getting wall mounted. She's like, you can just leave it on the dresser because I'm just gonna leave this dresser here. It was a thrift store find. I don't want it. You can put your T-shirts in it. Yes, I absolutely need room for T-shirts. I keep getting new T-shirts.
Yeah. That is, I mean, now that we were talking about earlier, I keep wanting to say the struggle is real. That is a struggle that I also have. I have my dresser in our bedroom, and it is completely packed to the gills, and then I have 3 piles of T-shirts that are at least knee-high right next to it, and Natalie wants to fucking kill me.
Oh, well, Karina wanted to kill me, too, so I think that might be part of the reason she's gone. No. anyway, no, seriously, though, I have so many T-shirts. Like, I have a dresser full, and then I have a storage bin full. Mm-hmm. And then, like, I just wear the same shirts in rotation because I can't fit them anywhere. So now that she's like, oh, you can just have this dresser, like, oh, I might be able to wear some of my other T-shirts now.
Hell yeah.
Like, I'll do laundry, I'll put t-shirts away, and then I could go to like a different drawer and be like, ooh, I want this shirt today. I haven't worn this in forever.
What a quality of life improvement.
Yeah, just having an extra couple of drawers to put t-shirts in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's funny you say that you like wear the same ones on like the same cycle, because like I do the exact same thing. I have like 150 t-shirts or whatever, including like I still have t-shirts from high school that still fit me, and once in a while I'll bust them out, but usually they just sit there, and I instead rotate between that like Bouncing Souls t-shirt, that one on the Cinder shirt I always have, that Descendants shirt, now that All shirt, and then like a Sabres shirt, and like that's it. I just rotate those 5 shirts, then I do laundry, and then I wear them again. And again, it pisses Natalie off because she's looking at these piles of shirts when realistically I could probably donate all of them, but I don't, and I don't know why. I think I'm going to wear them and like the way I look, and I never do. I
absolutely understand, 100% unequivocally understand that. Like, I haven't worn this shirt in like a decade, but I might.
Right. I've still got up in the attic, like, so you're saying you've got stuff downstairs that you were not able to set up. Our attic it's largely my shit that I don't have any place to put, including the entire Nintendo beanbag character set from Nintendo Power, which is fucking awesome. But I have my Weird Al Yankovic tour t-shirt from when I went in 5th grade, and it's The Saga Begins, and it's him dressed as Anakin walking out.
Dude, I have that shirt.
You have that shirt? Yeah!
I got it when I saw him the first time, which was for the Alpocalypse tour.
Okay.
Yeah, he was still selling it apparently.
All right. So I was at the one. I mean, I might have been on the Alpocalypse tour. I don't know, but I bought that shirt. I was in 5th grade. I just knew I was going to see Al. But that shirt does not fit me. I got it in 5th grade, and now it is like it would be up here. It's terrible, but I can't get rid of it. It was my first concert, and it's all crackled, and oh my god! And I love that shirt. I won't get rid of it.
Weird Al is actually going to be at, I think, Art Park on July 29th, and we have a show.
Oh.
I wasn't. So here's the thing: is I wasn't gonna go to the Weird Al show because that's also Karina's birthday. So it was like, all right, no, we'll do something else. I'm not gonna go see Weird Al on your birthday. We'll go do something you want to do. And then like we broke up, so it's like, maybe I could go to see Weird Al. And then she's like, hey, does Living Brain Dead want to play on my birthday? And I'm like, I'll ask, thinking the answer would be no. And then you guys are all like, yeah, that sounds good. Let's do it. It's like, man. Okay, guess I'm not going to see Weird Al.
But Al's coming?
It's so
I want to go see Al.
So the tour is it's the second coming of like the ridiculously self-indulgent tour.
Right, where he plays all the deep cuts.
It's all the deep cuts instead of like all the hits.
That's right.
Which, and then he was doing like a cover every night. Like he did 72 covers on the tour. Like,
dude, he's the best.
That takes an incredible amount of fucking talent to be able to do a different cover when that's not typically what you do.
Yeah.
To do a different cover 72 nights on a tour.
Unreal.
And we saw him that he played Blister in the Sun by the Violent Femmes when we saw him, when Brian and I saw him. And that was the last time I saw him. I didn't see him on the No Strings Attached tour, which I was kind of bummed about. But I think he played that one at Art Park too, and it's like, I can't get there. Like, I probably could, it's just, it would be like a bit of an Uber ride.
I mean,
so.
Well, going forward, anytime he's going to Art Park, you got to ride, because I'm going to freaking go.
For sure, yeah.
We can't make that one. I'm happy to play that show too. It'll be fun. I would love to see that tour, because, like, I like the Al songs that are not parodies. Like, give me Mr. Frump and the Iron Lung, and give me Trigger Happy. And give me That's Your Horoscope for Today. Awesome.
Pretty sure he played Horoscope when we saw him. He's coming to St. Louis. Ingwood Records has tickets. It's been 10 years.
Let's go. That's awesome, man. Congrats. I'm going to look around to the...
My first Weird Al show was at UB. It was the Alpocalypse tour. Mm-hmm. Like, I met him on the Bad Hair Day tour, but I never actually, like, saw him until the Alpocalypse tour. And so like, we went and saw him. We had pretty decent seats, and it was a hilarious show. It was great. And then, like, it was weird, though, because, like, you know, everybody went out back to meet him because he's like a very accessible guy to meet. But, you know, and we got to meet like Jim West and, you know, some of the other band members. And the problem was like, they're like, no, Al wants to go to sleep because it's a crazy tour. We're going to go to Pennsylvania and then we got to go back up to Toronto. And it's like, that doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you go Pennsylvania, Buffalo, and then Toronto? But it turned out he was filming the Comedy Central special in Toronto that was later released on DVD. So the Alpocalypse tour, if you get it on DVD, that was like 4 days after I saw him for the first time, and done in Toronto. I saw him again at UB for Mandatory Fun. And then Brian and I saw him for the Ridiculously Self-Indulgent Vanity tour, the first one. And then I missed him for No Strings Attached. I'm going to miss him this time around too. And that kind of sucks because I love Weird Al.
Yeah, he's the best, man. He's the reason I got into music. Him and my cousin Al, basically.
My daughter, one time, I'm sitting outside. We're sitting outside. It was summertime, and I'm playing Handy, the parody of what is it, Fancy or whatever the fuck that song is.
Yeah.
And she goes, this is weird. All this guy does is sing other people's songs, and he sings them so wrong. And I'm like, yeah, that's the joke.
Like, yeah, that's the part that rocks.
That's the fun part. Anyway, yeah, Laura's right. It is time for music. The Stress Dolls are playing at Jackrabbit on Friday night with our friends in Grosh. And that's a 10 p.m. show. I didn't have any information about pricing or age or anything, so ask the bands. This is Stress Dolls. The song's called Alone on all WNY Think So Joe Show.
Whenever I'm alone, I get this feeling it's happening once again. I'm at half a glass without you, drowning in a whirlpool on the shallow end. But whenever you're around, I am a fever, a hot flush in your face. The vermin in your garden, overgrown, you're trying to pick up the pace. So I'd rather be alone. Yeah, I'd rather be alone. What's sold to be paid when there are borders and I'm afraid of heights. The walls of scale are frightening, tall and overwhelming. They stand to remind how I just can't be myself in this atmosphere. It's much too thick. I just keep on choking instead of only breathing and I'm over it. So I'd rather be alone. Yeah, I'd rather be
Stress Dolls, the song called Alone on all WNY Think So Joe Show.
Hell yeah, Stress Dolls are freaking awesome, man. I haven't seen them play with the full band. I know the singer and songwriter Chelsea does acoustic solo type stuff, and I at Porch Fest last year I saw her and Sally from Over and Out play, and I mean they were fucking great. And I know now she's playing again out with a full band. I know Sally's usually with them, and my buddy TJ, that I haven't seen him in 12 years or something, but I went to college with, is playing bass with them. So
cool.
I might duck over there and see if I can duck in and say hi to them.
It's Friday night at Jackrabbit. I haven't been there.
I haven't either, and I live like a 5 or 10 minute walk from it. It's not far, and I still. Every night when Natalie and I are like, should we go to Jackrabbit? Like, we always end up getting like Santa Sierras and staying home and watching Seinfeld.
They've always got good bands playing there. Like Grosh is a great band, and Grosh is on that bill with Stress Dolls. And I fucking love Grosh.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen them since like shows started becoming a thing again, and I really want to, but I've also not been leaving the house because it's been cold. So.
Yeah, and we're supposed to get. I just got like a winter
storm
advisory.
Winter storm warning on the phone. Yeah, I got that.
Fucking lines are gonna freeze again. But I might duck out on Friday and finally go to Jackrabbit and go see them because they're excellent.
Yeah, that would be really that would be. It seems like a really cool venue. They've always got really cool bands. Just I have not had the opportunity to go there yet. So, but definitely. Stress Dolls and Grosh sounds like a good time, man.
Hell yeah.
But 10 p.m. start time, so that's a little late for me, man.
Sign me up. That's the first night that I'm back from sober January. So I'm gonna get out there and I'm just gonna go ape shit. It's gonna be fun.
I like shows that end at like 10 or 11, not start at 10 or 11. So that it's gonna be a stretch to get me out. Especially like that would be like probably the night of the NHL skills competition, wouldn't it?
Oh, probably.
Assuming the game is, considering the game is Saturday, so.
I frequently forget that the Sabres exist these days, so I'm just I'm just gonna go see some music and watch something that makes me happy.
I was sitting here last night and I didn't even know there was a game. I got the notification of like, oh, the Sabres just posted on Snapchat, and then I was on like Twitter or Instagram or something, and they're like, oh yeah, getting ready for this late night game. Like, late night game? What the fuck? Like, oh fuck, they're playing Vegas at 10 o'clock? Shit, I have deadlines.
Yeah.
I missed my deadline by like 5 minutes, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
No.
It's not bad.
No, but I had like 2 from the same guy, so I'm like, am I gonna make either of these? I didn't make the first one, but I made the second one.
Oh, there you go. Hey, he showed that you're reliable.
Managed to do it. Managed to pull it off. I get a message. I'm sitting here. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I get a message like, hey, are you going to reply to my messages? And so I go and I look and I'm like, when the fuck did he message me? 6:10 a.m. Like, dude, I'm not on Fiverr 24/7. Like, I did not see your message until I saw this one asking me if I was going to reply to you. Like, yeah, I will take care of what you're asking me to do. I'll take care of it tonight, but I'm not here to do it right now. Like, I will get it done for you. Just, you got to be patient, man. Like, you sent me 6 messages in 8 hours asking me if I could do this thing. Like, dude, I didn't see your fucking messages. I sleep. Yeah. Barely, but I sleep. You know? So...
I'm experiencing similar things at my job. Yeah, I'm not going to just complain about my job because I like my job, but
no, I like my job too.
I'm having that happen where people are sending me, where is it, and I'm getting so many messages, and I just inherited a bunch of work from somebody that left. So I'm like, every single message that you send me makes it more difficult for me to find the thing I was supposed to be doing.
Right.
I have 250, 280 something unread messages right now. Like, I can't figure out what you're talking about.
Yeah,
you keep emailing me.
Like, 1, you're not my only client. 2, it's like, I'm in bed when you sent me this message. Like, I go to bed super late, like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, but I mean, I still go to bed at some point. So I'm not going to necessarily see your message that you sent at 6 a.m. that you're following up with at 1 p.m. Like, dude, no, just chill. I got you. Just, I didn't see your shit. Like, what do you want from me? I think this was the guy that
clients, man.
I think this was the guy he wanted me to do. He sent me an order and he was like, I don't want any auto-tune on this. Like, who the fuck auto-tunes voiceovers? So it's like,
that begs the question. Who did that? You want to find out who did that to him that made him need to stipulate that.
So I said, I messaged the dude back. I'm like, I don't use auto-tune. He's like, well, I wanted to sound as natural as possible. So I just turned off everything. Turned off the fucking noise gate, turned off the turned off EQ, turned off all the all the processing that goes through the mixer, all the post processing that goes through the fucking the DAW, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna turn on a de-esser because it's gonna sound like shit if I don't. But otherwise, like, that was the only thing. I put a de-esser and I put a limiter so that it would like level out to -3 decibels, because that's industry standard. So it's like, all right, I'm not gonna do any fucking editing, post-processing stuff whatsoever. This is just straight into the microphone, straight into the DAW, like no fucking processing whatsoever. If that's what you want, that's what you get.
How do you feel about it?
He didn't complain. The only thing he's on me about is he needs like some lines redone, but like,
It's not bad. That is interesting though. Yeah, I would like it stripped down and raw. All right.
like, okay, you're the boss, dude. Like, I was like, how the fuck do I even pull this off? And then I realized like I can literally turn off all the onboard effects with one click. So
there you
it's
go.
like, all right, I'll just do that, and then I can just take out what I want out of, and if I want to EQ or anything, I can do that later. But like, who needs voiceovers that are not, that are not processed? Especially, and it's like this, bullshit stuff I do all the time, where it's just like, you want to make all this money, you want to buy this product. That kind of bullshit, where I'm just like, I don't know that this is a scam, so I'm not going to fucking argue with it, but, it's probably a scam.
You're out there telling you're out there telling people to take out high interest loans and buy crypto.
No, not quite. No, just like, oh, you want to make money, so you need to buy this, and we'll give you this untapped traffic source, and we'll send you all our traffic, and you'll make $23 an hour, or whatever, $23 a click, or whatever, some stupid shit like that.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, all right, I've never in my entire life actually gotten sent one of these. So like, I'm okay doing it because I don't, like, who's getting these? And obviously, I think the answer is like the people who actually fall for it are the ones that are getting it. But like, but like, he's paying me to read words.
Well, yeah, there you go.
I
dude.
got no like
Work for hire, man.
Like,
you don't have anything for the the programmatic aspect of that. You're just doing work for hire.
as long as it's not like, this virus is a hoax.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
No, I've done that, and I've done that, and I gave the guy his money back. I'm like, after I did it, I was like, dude, take me off of this. Find somebody else. Here's your money back. Like, I don't want anything to do with this. And so I don't know if my voice is out there doing that shit.
That's what I think I remember saying. I might have said it on the show, but like, yeah, like. Somebody in like downtown Chicago or something is hearing your voice echoing out of like a loudspeaker outside of some restaurant or something.
And they're like, hey, that's the dude from Slat Rock Wrestling.
Man, that's funny.
Somehow that's all I'm fucking known for is, Slat Rock. Getting comments on my own fucking YouTube channel. Hey, Slat Rock. Like, yeah, that's me.
Happens when you're famous, man.
I guess. I really want to go to like a WWE show or an AEW show.
See
and
if
just
anyone recognizes you.
Just start spewing off like the opening lines from some of these channels, like, hey guys, what is going on? This is WrestleMania, back with another episode. See if anybody recognizes me.
Dude, you'll definitely get somebody, yeah.
Yet I can't get on fucking on Botchamania. I've been trying, like, I've been messaging him all the time, like, just bugging him on Twitter. Hey man, I voice a bunch of wrestling channels. Can I do a guest read on Botchamania? And just never hear back from him. So, And it's not like, I can't verify my fucking resume, you know what I mean? Because like WrestleMania is fucking retweeting me like, come on, Matthew, you want him to do one of these guest reads, like, yeah, I mean, I guess I don't need to do a Botchamania read. People know who I am, but still.
Yeah, man, it'd be nice. Should show you some love, man. What the fuck?
Got into an argument with a guy the other day. So like one of the other wrestling channels, Wrestling with Regret, they started off their Royal Rumble review of basically saying they don't want to go through the whole show again because they don't want to be disappointed again. And it's, oh, you guys all hate WWE. You're all AEW fanboys. And it's like, he calls out WrestleMania, Wrestling with Regret, and What Culture Wrestling, which are none of us, WrestleMania and the other two, like none of us are pro or anti WWE at all.
Right.
So it's just like, dude, no, the show sucked. If you liked it, cool, man. Don't let us ruin that for you. But like, we know it could have been so much better. The show was predictable. It was boring. And it was just like, we could have written that better. But like, if you enjoyed it, don't let us fucking stop you just because we don't like it. Doesn't mean you can't.
Right. But some things aren't for everybody. Yeah.
So whatever. But
I don't know.
so you were talking about, you could have come over for the Royal Rumble. Johnny Knoxville was in it. You were talking about Steve-O
Really?
earlier. Johnny Knoxville was in it, yeah.
No shit, man.
Came out with the whole Jackass crew, yeah.
It's funny, dude. Like, so I've...
Fucking Brock Lesnar put Wee Man through a table at a restaurant over the weekend.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've never really watched wrestling in any capacity. I played some of the N64 games,
Sure.
but I mean, I would come over and watch it sometime, and that would be a big selling point for me if I had known that was happening, because like, I love Jackass, and
I was actually gonna text
more than I should actually.
I was actually gonna text you before the Royal Rumble and just be like, dude, I know you're not a big wrestling fan, but if you want to come over and watch this, it's the Royal Rumble. They never fuck this up, and then they fucked it up. So I'm kind of glad you did, because you would have just been here like, why, like, wait, why is it a bad thing Brock Lesnar won?
I wouldn't know any better, but yeah, dude, like, invite me over sometime, because I will come check it out. I don't know if it's ever going to be anywhere near the level of enjoyment that you get from it, but I would check it out. And like I'm saying, like, I don't know, I love Jackass on a level that is not reasonable. It's like, I think it's my love of skate videos, but like the fact that I can't really skate anymore.
Yeah.
And now my love of like comedy and music and stuff, it's all of that combined. Like the soundtracks to the TV show is clutch.
So I don't know if we're doing the next WWE premium live event. They don't call them pay-per-views anymore. I don't know if we're doing the next one because it's one of the Saudi Arabia ones, so we don't know what time it's actually going to be on. But we are like, but the way they're doing it now is it's actually like one of the actual monthly pay-per-views, instead of like, we're going to do this Saudi Arabia show and then we're going to do our monthly pay-per-view. And then that just gives them more opportunities to fuck things up. But we might order that, and I mean, not order it because it's all on Peacock, but like, we might do that on the projector. John might come over, and if we do, we'll have you over. But like,
yeah, let me know, man. I'll come hang.
I think we had talked about going to Dallas for WrestleMania, John and I kind of like said, nah, I don't want to do that this year. Mostly because it's a 2-night thing, and I don't want to have to impose on friends of mine for a whole weekend, and be away from the studio and away from the cats, and have to have somebody like come check on the cats and all that shit for that long just to go to fucking wrestling when I'm like so disillusioned with the show right now. But like, so we'll probably watch WrestleMania here on the big screen. So you could definitely come over for that. And that's like the big show of the year where they have all the celebrity involvement, and they have, they typically don't fuck that up. Which is exactly what I said before the Royal Rumble, and they fucked that up. But like,
First time for everything.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be the first time, but it's few and far between. But like, yeah, it was just. But maybe you would enjoy it more than us because we're so invested in it. Like, oh man, no, they're not gonna really fucking do this, are they? And then they do it, and it's like, man, that fucking sucked. But it would have been something that you had never seen before so you would have been like, dude, that was cool.
Right, like coming in with fresh eyes, being an unsophisticated viewer.
Like, oh, he lost the match earlier, but now he's gonna get another title shot because he won the Royal Rumble. Like, but we all saw it coming. We're just like, no, please don't do that. No, somebody else can win this. It doesn't need to be Brock. He doesn't need to come back and win the. But like, I don't know. Maybe somebody who's not been a fan for 30 years would look at it differently. But I mean, the general consensus over Twitter was just like, man, this show is fucking terrible. There was some good points, and and when I'm talking to this dude who's like complaining, like saying that we're all AEW fanboys, we hate WWE, I'm like, dude, look, you want good points? Here are some good points of the of that show, but everything else was trash. And then the next day, I'm I don't know what I posted on Facebook, but my mom leaves a comment and she goes, oh, did the Miz and his wife win their match? I forgot that match even happened, which is a damn shame because one of my favorite fucking wrestlers of all time was in it. So it's like, ah, man, like I forgot that match even happened. That's how disappointing the whole show was overall.
Just nondescript and uninteresting.
Yeah, and like, so it was like my favorite wrestler, one of my favorite wrestlers, Edge, and his wife, Beth Phoenix, who's from Eden, Eden, New York, locally. And they were wrestling against The Miz and his wife, Maurice, and it's just like, oh man, why? Like, I mean, it was a good, it was a good story, and it was probably a good match. It was just, I completely forgot it even happened. By the time, like, by 24 hours later, I'm like, oh yeah, that was a thing that happened, wasn't it?
Just entered your head and left immediately. Shit.
Why wouldn't they have the young up-and-comer Brock when the Royal Rumble finally Brock gets a point? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it was just kind of a, it's so like, and then you start thinking about it, like, but if it wasn't him, who the fuck would have won? They suck at pushing everybody nowadays. But yeah, I just, I think maybe you would have enjoyed it a little more than our cynical asses watching this.
Oh yeah, it's
knowing what we're knowing what we're in for, and knowing that, like, oh shit, they're gonna have fucking Brock come out and win, aren't they? Like,
yeah, I mean, if it was something that, it's like I said, like I've never really watched it all that much, I don't know if it sounds like it's something that would appeal to me, but as a fresh set of eyes, I certainly wouldn't have the built-up cynicism and the understanding of the story arcs and stuff to have it ruined as it's happening. Whereas it's like, like it happens if you watch a TV show too much, it jumps the shark, or like it actually I see it very frequently in the punk rock scene. If you're so in love with punk rock music, you start to hate everything that happens because, it's not as, like, you've seen it before, so you're like, fuck that, fuck that, fuck that, fuck that. Like, and I try not to be that guy, but,
gatekeeping is so punk rock. Anyway.
Exactly. I forget, was that Kirsten said that a couple weeks ago? I was thinking about that on the drive home, and it's like, she's right, especially with the definition of punk rock we want, which is like, being inclusive and being cool and like intelligent and supportive, while also going after and dismantling power structures that are fucking suck. But like, the statement gatekeeping is not punk rock is like empirically false, because gatekeeping is what punk rock was all about. When it was like, this is our thing, we don't fucking need you, fuck you, get away from us, you're the ones that screwed us. Like, I'm being a little bit loopy with it, I guess, but because it isn't totally gatekeeping, but there's a lot of it, and it's been there from the start. It's a fundamental part of punk rock.
We're still not getting the Facebook messages, so we'll get it from the Restream bot here. But the best part of this year's Royal Rumble is not watching the Royal Rumble and repeat watching Danhausen's debut at AEW. Yeah. Fucking last week on AEW, they're having this, they call it a lights out match. It doesn't count towards the record. And it's like no holds barred, so anything goes. So the dude goes to pull a chair out, and this dude just pulls out with the chair. It's like, it's fucking Danhausen, who's just this like indie dude who's just like, his gimmick is a cross between Conan O'Brien and what the fuck was the other part of it? Like, it's part Conan O'Brien and part like evil, like, so
evil Conan O'Brien.
Basically, evil Conan O'Brien.
Like 6'7" redhead guy with like jet black eyes.
Nah, not he's like our size, dude. Like, yeah. I think if I was trying to get you into wrestling, I don't know if I'd have you watch WWE or AEW. I think I'd be like, yo, let's watch some 90s ECW stuff, man. That shit was cool. But I mean, I think you would be more like an AEW guy, because you've got guys like CM Punk and Ruby Soho, and and yes, her name is Ruby Soho. It was gifted to her by fucking Lars Fredrickson.
Hell yeah.
So like, you got that whole like punk rock thing going on in AEW. Not that WWE doesn't have like some of those characters too, but these are like ones that are just like, these people live the lifestyle. Like, Punk is friends with like everybody in the punk scene.
That's cool.
Like, Lars Fredrickson is his best friend, and then you've got Ruby Soho, who, after she got canned from WWE, was like, on Lars Fredrickson's wrestling podcast, like, I don't know what I'm going to use for a name. And he's like, well, you're already called Ruby, right? And she's like, yeah. He's like, why don't you just go by Ruby Soho? I got some guys who could clear the rights to the music for you.
Hell yeah.
And then next thing you know, her name's Ruby Soho. She debuts at AEW. Ruby Soho's playing over the fucking loudspeaker. Like,
that's awesome.
yeah. But we got to get out of here. Speaking of punk rock, this is an interesting track from our dear friend Trey from Voice of Dissent. Have you heard this yet?
Yeah, I caught a couple snippets of it. It's a different style from what I'm used to from him, but it's still got some edge. I like it.
I think Voice of Dissent has been kind of experimental lately, and this is kind of an offshoot of that. So this is the newest track from our dear friend Trey James, and this song is called Sift Through the Static on the ThinkSoJoE show, all WNY, and we'll see you next week.
Cause I cannot see. This directionless anger is killing me. I can't remember me. What am I supposed to be? I get lost inside my memories. I may be here, but that's not what I see. I can't blame you if you abandon me. I can't stand me. Why is this happening? You lost me to your memories. I'll just get lost when I wrap that breath. This seems like more than just anxiety. Once the inside steps, everything gains speed. Once I pace, I can't get off my feet. I shiver and shake, and then I scream while I see your eyes because I'm paranoid, and nothing seems to fill the void. Up on my feet, full automatic, step through the static, step through the static, screaming at myself cause I'm fucking manic. Step through the static, step through the static, up on my feet, full automatic, step through the static, step through the static, beating at myself, I'm fucking manic. Step through the static, step through the static. We're only on the second verse, and I already forgot who you were. Painful reflection is all that resonates. This never had much to do with you anyway. I just need someone to justify my existence from a distance. Need someone to rectify me. Tell me I am what I want me to be. I try to lose my memories. I'll just get lost when I wrap my breath. This seems like more than just anxiety. Once the inside snaps, everything gains speed. Once I pace, I can't get off my feet. I shiver and shake, and then I scream while I see your eyes because I'm paranoid, and nothing seems to fill the void. Up on my feet, full automatic, step through the static, step through the static, screaming at myself cause I'm fucking manic. Step through the static, step through the static, up on my feet, full automatic, step through the static, step through the static, beating at myself, I'm fucking manic. Step through the static, step through the static. Please don't leave me alone with my thoughts. Don't leave me alone with my thoughts. Don't leave me alone with my thoughts. Don't leave me alone. Please don't leave. I can't handle trying to make choices. Step to the static.